back. So I think you have covered everything in the programming basics. So now let's move on to the widgets, right? So as I told you back then, everything in Flutter is a widget. So right now I'll just delete it all. Okay. So we are doing it from the scratch. So we will start from the stateless widget, right? Just like before, and I will name it my app. Okay. So now is gone. Yeah. So now you will see on the left hand side an empty screen, right? So first widget that you have to do every time will be a material app. It is a common thing, and you have to do it every time. Okay? After that, you will create a scaffold. Scaffold is nothing but just an empty container or like a box in which all the other widgets will be added in the future. Okay. So now you can see a plain app with a ugly debug bar. Again, we will remove this just by doing a debug show check mode banner, which is equals to false. So it will remove this banner. Now we are ready to go. Okay, so first off, we will start about seeing the properties, what the properties it has in the scaffold. So whichever widget you will like write, you can check their properties by control and space, and it is common for both Macs and Windows. So after that, you will see a list of attributes it can have. So you can see and drawer, extend body, drawer, body, background color, app color, bottom navigation seats, and these are all terms related to the scaffold. So this will be different for every other widget in the Flutter. Okay, so let's start with the background color. So let's assume we put the background color to colors dot cyan, right? Cyan. So, and also for colors we have different types of shades of color. So by giving the square brackets and giving the value, so you can increase the intensity of the color. So now you can check, we have put the cyan to 200. Let's make it a little bit brighter. Now let's say cyan 100. Okay, yeah. So after this, let's move on to the another parameter, which is a very important parameter and will be used very often for your apps, which is body. Okay, so let's body. It is the body of the scaffold. As I told you, scaffold is just a box, it's an empty box, so that's why we add a body in it. Okay, so firstly okay, so now I'm going to introduce you a very important and a most commonly used widget in the Flutter, which is containers. Containers will be used throughout your apps and will be used very flexibility, like everywhere. The containers are the main core for building your apps. It will be used like everywhere. Okay, it has so many properties like child, clip behavior, colors, constraints, separation, height and width, and everything. So, and you can see child, which again says widgets, right? So in Flutter, widgets like container and other can have their own childs, and their child can have their own child as well. So it can create a hierarchy or a widget tree of two widgets, right? So by doing this, we create the structures and the UIs for the app. Okay, so now you can see I can just for start, I will add height. Let's create a height of 300, width of 300. Okay, and let's give him a color, right? So simply just write C and it will auto complete to the color if you are using a VS Code. So let's give it again color dot cam, right? Right now let's give him a bigger shade, and you can see we have a box of 300 by 300 and it is of 300 height, right? Also we can add a border radius to it, and for that you have to add decoration and box decoration. Okay, so now you will see an error, right? This is a very common and easy bug, small issue, which is color cannot be added if you added decoration, right? So for that you just have to remove the color from it and add into the box decoration. So now everything looks good. Let's add a border radius. So again, just control space, type BO, and you will get a border radius. Okay, So now we will start border radius. So now you can see there's different types of border radius, circular, horizontal. So right now just focus on the circular, and I will tell you about others in the later on, right? So let's give a border radius of 20. Okay, so you can see our little box is now have curly borders. So you can also make it to the center, and that's very important. So just for adding any parent widget to a widget, you can just click on the widget and add control dot, right, full stop. You can see wrap with widgets, right, and you can make it center. So now you can see center is on the container, or else you can just write it, just remove it and write in a sequence. But if you forget to add a parent in any widget, so you can just do this, which is control dot, which is just doing control dot, okay, and wrap with widgets or remove the widget. You can, this is like the quick shortcut keys which we can use to increase the productivity and the code, right? So let's add another widget into this container, right? First of all, I will format it so you can easily see this. Okay, so now let's add a child into the container. Child, again the child. So you can see now the center has a child, which is a container, and the container has a child, which we will add now. Let's add text, right? Just try text, get the widget, add the text. Let's say cargo saying right? Let's have a small one, right? Covenant. Okay, so now you can see we have a small webinar in the corner, and again you want it into the center. So again control dot wrap with center, simple, and you get the webinar in the center. Now you will see like this is not looking good in the blue and black, so let's style the text too. So for that, in the text widget you will add a comma and then just type style, just like CSS or HTML. So after then you can add a text style. Okay, and this method requires parameter which will be used to style your text. Okay, so now you can do this by just, let's assume, set the text color to colors dot white. Yeah, it looks pretty good. After that you can change the font size, which is, let's say 28. Then you can say font weight, which is again, let's say, sorry, font weight to full, and that's it. Now you can see it looks prevalent and looks good, right? Let's just make it full. Boom. Now it looks good. So this is the basic structure of any widget you will build in the future, which is scaffold, then the body contains the widget. So now this is a widget tree, complete widget tree. So you can see center has a children, which is container. Again it has a children, which is center, which again has a children, which is a text, and text has the value, which is a relevant. Okay, we given the property to the container and everything. Okay, so let's move on to it. You can see this squiggly lines, right? This is because they want to add you a constant to make it more optimized. Just control dot and remove it. Like VS Code will help you to remove it. Mostly it is about const. And you can just add it and it will fix it, right? Add const right. So now you can see that your code is clean and working. So now let's move on to the another important widget, which is, let's remove this part and add, which is icon. Okay, and Flutter has so many wonderful icons in it, predefined, so you can just press icons and anything, you can add anything of your like, which is favorite. So let's have favorite, you can just have it. I can style it as well. For that we just give the attribute, which is color store, right? So it is a class and it is the value, so it can be seen as colors white, so you can add the value like this. So now you can see we have a small heart in the center. You can also increase the size, which is, let's assume we put it to 28 and our heart becomes a large. Let's make it 36. Yeah, now it looks good. You can play around with the icons. You can have multiple icons like exit to the app, dog, I think that dog. Let's assume we can have tab, you can have a sun, anything. So you can just name it and type it, you'll get the icon most of the time. Otherwise you can add your icons like using another libraries like font awesome icons and stuff. You'll get the favorite. Let's make it a favorite. Yeah. So after this you can say we have both icons and everything stuffed up. So let's move forward to something like more structural thing of our app. You can wrap your widgets using this small arrows and it will become a small compact item, right? So now let's add more properties to our scaffold, which is AppBar. Okay, so AppBar again needs a function which is a method which is AppBar, and you can see the properties by just control space. You can see there are several properties in it. Because without adding any properties, you can see there's nothing here and white AppBar appears, right? So you can see it creates only a white static and with nothing included AppBar. So to include stuff you can add title in it, right? So let's assume we put the title as my first app, right? Okay, so it is giving an error because it requires a widget. So as I told you, it also requires a widget. So you can customize your center, which is a title of your app bar, by giving any custom widget to it. So as you can see right now it's giving a basic Android left side app bar title. You can customize it, you can add your own font and other stuff just like that. So let's add another thing to this, which is a background color. Let's add colors dot 400. Yeah, it looks pretty good, better than before. Then I think this, let's try without anything, right? Yeah, it is darker than the mid one. Okay. After that we can add, you can see like like in the iOS version you will see an elevation also, and we can view this, right? So it will remove any elevations below the curve. After this you can also add an icon in the start, which is like leading, and it requires again a widget. So for that you can just add icons dot, let's assume menu, right? Okay, and okay, like that you can see and menu, right? Let me just format this again. Also, if you want to add an icon in the end of the app bar, you can do it with actions, which shows you list of widgets, because it can add multiple icons or multiple buttons in the action bar. So let's add one button, which is icon button. Icon button is also widget which is pre-made for icons to be like used as a button, right? So right now just make an empty function for it, because on press requires a function. So what to do when this button is pressed? So let's select an icon, let's say exit, and let's say download, and it is giving because it requires an icon. Let's make it a request, and that's it. So now you can see we have an exit icon. You can have multiple of this just by you can have multiple just by add comma, and you can see you have multiple widgets, right? Yeah, that's all. So this is the like main two like structural part of app, which is app bar, body. Also there's one important thing, which is a bottom navigation. So let's add a bottom navigation too. Okay, so it requires a bottom navigation bar, and items, we can add an item in it, which is again a types of list of bottom navigation item. So if you have any confusion of what to add in the parameters, just hover on it and VS Code or any IDE will show you what is like required, right? So let's add items, and I can give you like bottom navigation bar item. It is saying like we have to an icon, so it is again a widget, so we will create icon. Icons dot, let's assume home. First will be a home. Sorry, it must be greater than 2, right? So it is saying item must be greater than 2. You can't have a one basic modulation, right? So now you can have this label. You also have to add labels in it. So let's add home to the first one, and again we had let's say profile, right? So let's add a profile in it. Okay, and that's the icon to the person, I guess. So you can have a person as well. Yeah. So now you can see here we have our bottom navigation, very basic default bottom navigation. If you are using an Android, you will get a different one, but right now we are using Android, so you can see that. You will see, like, if we click, it doesn't change because right now we didn't have any state management or things for changing the page. We just built an UI part of the bottom navigation. Okay, so I can give him a color, everything. So let's just style a bit. Right, background color. Again, what color should I pick? I think cyan with a very light one. It is similar, right? Cyan 100. Okay. Also, I can tell you one other secret. Let's make it white. And what if you want a color, but not in its full intensity, right? So you can just make it with opacity, and you can just add the parameter how much opacity you want. It will be 0.3 or 0.5, so it will be 50% of the opacity. So you can see your widget is diminishing, the color is going off. So right now we are using it in the bottom, so it's like just like black shadow because bottom navigation requires color. So let's make it a 1. Okay. Also we can add the colors in this too. Right, just add a comma, always add commas in it. So it is colors dot, let's add cyan again, and let's add 600. Okay. And again, so you will be used in the background if we add any structure and everything. Okay, so as I was showing you the example for the opacity, let me give you a good example. Let's go to the container again, and the color we provided to the container, let's give them an opacity of 0.5, right? So it is giving error because we are using a constant. And also, okay, it requires a null safety because I don't know, like, it's a null safety is a new feature in Flutter, which is like I will show you about it like in the next videos, upcoming videos, and it will be most clear to you. So you can see our widget has become so light because of it. We can make it 0.1. It will completely invisible. We can make it 0. Right now it's invisible. So yeah, so I think 0.7 looks good. So these are the basic 3 app structures required to build any app, which is a body, bottom navigation, and the app bar. You can see app bar, bottom navigation, body. And for so these are the crucial parameters that will be required by you to create any apps, and it all includes in the scaffold. So it is background color, app bar, bottom navigation, and body. You can also check body. In body we add multiple layers of widgets, which has center, child as container has a child center has again child of icon, and icon has the value. So similar to the text case, and both are good, right? So this is it for today. I will explain about another widgets and important structures and things required in Flutter in the next upcoming videos, and stay connected for that. Yeah, have a nice day. Bye.